Well, just, good evening to you, and very brief words. I suppose the President has told you that I've briefed them on the situation in Syria as I see it, and that I'm now calling on the Security Council to take action because the Geneva Declaration that contains indeed a lot of elements that would provide for a reasonable solution to the conflict cannot be implemented as it is. It needs action from the Council, and I have suggested a few ideas to them, considering the state of how secrets are held in the United Nations. I'm sure you already have seen that. I'll take 3 or 4 questions.
Talal Hashim Al-Arabiya, sir, welcome, and thank you very much for the briefing and speaking to the press. I would like to ask you about what did you in particular ask the Security Council to adopt the Geneva Declaration into a resolution under Chapter 7, and what are, if you may, as you know, the secrets are not kept in this building very well, share with us some of the ideas that you have suggested to the Security Council to solve this problem.
I haven't used the word resolution, but I have said that action has to be taken by the Council, and I have indicated some of the things that need to be done by the Council. The Council has got to reaffirm the attachment and support for Syria's independence, sovereignty, territorial integrity, also for the rights of every citizen in Syria to their human rights and dignity, irrelevant of gender, religion, or any other element. Also, in Geneva, a very critical element is the creation of this governing body, they called it, which is really a government, transitional government, with full executive powers. I think that there was a very clever, creative ambiguity in this declaration. And I've told them that ambiguity has to be lifted now. That's what I said. That ambiguity has to be lifted now. You've got to say what these full executive powers means. And for me, and I think for many people, it means exactly that. All the powers of state have got to go to that government. So these are some of the ideas that, and if you look at Twitter's, you find all the others. Yes, please.
Ambassador Brahimi, it's Raghida here. About this ambiguity that you spoke about, lifting that ambiguity, has anything been done in your last week here trying to bring not only the Russians and the Americans closer on this issue, but also on the issue of how do you somehow maybe neutralize that deadlock they have over President Bashar al-Assad? Have you succeeded in taking this anywhere else in this last week, and how do you intend to pursue?
We are going to take it a little bit further tonight at a dinner with the P5.
Yes, but and then how do you?
Well, that is what ask me tomorrow. I will tell you.
Next question.
سعادة السفير شكرا. كيف ترى التصور لهذا المخرج الذي تتحدث عنه لمسألة كامل الصلاحيات؟ ثم هل أنت تريد تجديد مهمتك التي تنتهي في نهاية فبراير شباط، أم أنك فعلا ستستقيل؟ رجاء توضيح هذه النقطة.
يعني الصحافة العربية على حال مش محتاجة أني أقول، يعني هم حيقرروا مثل ما هم عايزين. يعني خليني أقول لك بالإنجليزي حتى الناس كلها تفهم. The gentleman is asking very politely, that's why he spoke for a long time, but what he was meaning was, am I going to resign? I'm not a quitter. The United Nations has no choice but to remain engaged with this problem, whether I am there or not. The moment I feel that I am totally useless, I will not stay 1 minute more. I didn't want this job. I didn't look for it. I don't need it as a job. So if I'm doing it, it's because maybe stupidly I feel sense of duty. So the minute I feel that I am not, that I am really useless, I will quit. The other way that my mission can end, I serve at the pleasure of the Secretary General of the United Nations and the Secretary General of the Arab League. They may decide that I should go. I also have to take into consideration the view of the Security Council. After all, they are our real masters. The Security Council were extremely generous in reaffirming not only their support, but also in asking me to please continue. The Secretary General of the Arab League and of the United Nations, as you know, spoke the other day and have said the same thing. So, and as I told you, the Arab press doesn't need me to say anything. They have decided. Yeah.
We're going to do two more questions. Two more questions. This gentleman, and then
Une question en français, Monsieur Brahimi, si vous le permettez. Est-ce que vous avez l'impression d'avoir fait des progrès sur le dossier syrien? Parce que l'impression de notre côté, c'est que...
Pas beaucoup. Je n'ai pas fait beaucoup de progrès sur le dossier syrien.
À quoi vous attribuez ce manque de progrès?
okay, we have one more question here. Sir, over here.
Who? Sorry.
New York Times. There's a sense that both sides inside Syria feel like they can continue fighting and one might win or the other, so they're not prone to negotiate. And I think you're trying to get the Security Council to create pressure. In the absence of pressure from the Security Council, is there any other way that you are trying to bring pressure on both sides to come to some sort of compromise?
You know, I'm trying to use some of my powers of conviction with very little success until now. But I think, you know, not thanks to me, but you may have seen that the two parties are now a little bit more embarrassed to say that we are going to achieve victory next week. And both sides have started to say, if there is a political solution, then perhaps we are willing to listen, provided naturally that that political solution will give us 100% of what we want. So there is that little progress that has been made by the two parties, and I think that if a little bit more pressure is brought to bear, perhaps a little bit more progress will be made. More importantly, and I think this is terribly important for the press if you really are thinking of Syria, you know, I told the Council I'm embarrassed to be repeating the same thing, and maybe I'm just I'm alone in thinking that, but Syria is being destroyed. You know, I sometimes say, of course the parties are very angry at me when I say that, objectively, they are cooperating to destroying Syria. Syria is being destroyed bit by bit. And in destroying Syria, the region is being pushed into a situation that is extremely bad and extremely important for the entire world. That is why I believe the Security Council simply cannot continue to say, we are in disagreement, therefore let's wait for better times. I think they have got to grapple with this problem now. Thank you very much indeed for Inshallah.
Thank you, sir.